run away, 'cause together we get stronger every day. I feel this change for the better.
Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back. Today we are continuing the motivation series. I am going to tweak it a little bit. I'm going to take it from 31 days to finishing it out in the next 2 videos. Reason being is in the last couple of weeks, I got majorly sick. I got a cold. It took me out for about 2 weeks total, and I am just now finally starting to get back. I'm starting to get my voice back because I had laryngitis on top of all of it and couldn't even really talk. But I don't want you guys to have to wait another, 10 days for the rest of the pieces of these videos. So I'm just finishing them out for you guys a little bit quicker. Today, we are going to be talking about making these goals happen, getting into the action and taking things, taking charge, taking things by the horns, however you want to say it, and just really getting those action plans. So if you guys are ready to make some action plans, then just stick around because here it comes. First things first, if you don't already have the workbook, make sure you get into my Chasing Wellness free group. It is in there. I will link it below and you'll be golden. On another note, something I'm super excited about is my March Wellness Fit Gym, as I like to call it, is actually talking about continuing the routine and continuing the momentum of everything and just really tackling these, checking in with ourselves. If we need to revamp, we revamp, do all the fun stuff. So once you get through this series, if you want to keep working and keep going, then fill out the form below. I will make sure everything is linked down in the comment or the description box below so that you can get in that and keep going. In the workbook, we have the Making It Happen section. Now, one of the first things that you kind of start thinking is, or that I tell people when it comes to motivation, is to eat the frog. Basically what I mean about that is stop procrastinating. Like, get out of your own way, get out of your own head. The idea behind that really truly is, if you have your to-do list, what if you ranked it in terms from easy to hard and you tackled the hardest thing first? You're going to feel success, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel accomplished with something. Even if that's the only thing that you get done on the list in that day, that is still something. I mean, how many times have we felt like, and I know I have, you're just spending the day putting out fires. You're doing random little things and it doesn't actually help you achieve anything. You end up feeling like you went nowhere and doing nothing. But if you really truly took it and looked at what was that hardest thing, go ahead and, that's the place to start. So kind of in the action spot, I said, and you're not going to do any of the following unimportant trivial tasks until you eat that frog. What is that needle moving activity for the day? What is that toughest thing that you need to do during the day? You've heard the phrase, I'm sure you are what you eat. Well, in addition to that, there's also a phrase of we become what we do. And basically that is habits. Our brains are wired for routine, patterns, and habits. It's just how our brains are wired. We have no control over that whatsoever. However, what if they're bad habits? What if they're not the best habits that we need to make ourselves successful? So that's on the next section to think about, is what are those daytime habits and what are those evening habits that might be really, really good to have, might not be really good to have, that you might want to do, you might want to change, all of those things. The next thing with that is when you're trying to change a habit, make new ones, do all that, schedule it out. If you have, dentist appointment put on your calendar, you're not going to cancel it because number one, they might charge you anyhow. And number two, it's an appointment with somebody else. You have respect for their time and for their, dedication to having all of that. But what about appointments for ourselves? I mean, how many times have we sat and have said, I want to do X, Y, and Z during the day. Like, I want to get the bathroom cleaned, or I want to meal prep, or I want to, be out of the house by this time to get to work, and it doesn't happen. But what if, whenever you were planning out your week or planning out your day, what if you scheduled that time specifically for yourself? What if you actually put a little block in, or an appointment sticker in your planner, or however you do it, put it in your phone, and you actually schedule that time for yourself? would it make a difference? You know, for me, it does. Anytime I have anything that I want to do for myself. So for example, in the month of February, I've been being really mindful and really conscious of taking time daily for me, because I hadn't been feeling well, because I had been sick, because I hadn't been 100% or on my A game. I was wanting to make sure that I took time for myself to heal and to check in and to recover. And what that looked like scheduling 20 minutes every day to maybe, you know, take a bubble bath, do a face mask, unplug and shut my phone off, and maybe read a book, talk to my husband, like doing all those things for me. I intentionally scheduled and followed that out. So that's where the next section comes from is, you know, think about what you want to accomplish. What do you want to do over the next year? Where do you want to be? And what do you want to schedule? What are those things that you need to schedule for yourself, because you won't give yourself the grace or the time to do it because we're too busy. Welcome to life. We're always busy. But what if we quit using that as an excuse? What if instead of I'm too busy, it's I dedicated a half an hour every day to myself? It's going to make a difference. The next thing that I always talk to people about, and I recommend doing when, you know, we're trying to make goals happen and make goals and dreams become realities, is we talk about the life wheel. It is something that it has 8 areas that it lets you take a look at for yourself. You can look at your personal growth, your career, your health, your environment, your family and friends, fun, romance, significant other, and finances. What you want to do, and there's 2 different types here. There is just the bar, and then I also have the wheel for you. And there's one for every single month. But you take those 8 areas and you look at it on a rating of 1 to 10, with 1 being like not so hot, 10 being amazing, and you rate them. Where are you in your life? What is going on? What is happening? Once you do those 8 areas, you then take a look and you look at what are those areas, number 1, that might be a little bit low. What do you need to do to boost those? What do you maybe need to focus on next month to bring those up? Whenever I'm working with my clients on their life wheel, I always suggest if something is more than 2 points from each other, there's a problem. So say, for example, your finances is at a 7, but your career is at a 4. Well, those are 3 points from each other, and we need to look at where that discrepancy lies. What's missing? What might you need to do to get closer to that 10 out of 10 feeling so that you're feeling happy and fulfilled within your life? And sometimes it's not always an easy thing to answer. You know, sometimes it does require a sacrifice. Sometimes it does require us to do things differently, go out of our comfort zones, maybe make some uneasy decisions, things like that. So those tend to become those obstacle areas, and we will talk about that in the next video. But since we're already in February, take a minute and look back over January. How does January rate for you? Are there any areas that are lower than you thought they would be, or are there any areas you want to improve on? And what are those areas that you want to improve on, and what are those things you want to do to improve? If you have any questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. I'm curious about how your Januaries are. What areas in the life wheel do you want to figure out the most? Do you want to do better at? Drop those also in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do to help you guys with that. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.